Hey, what's going on, YouTube? So this is the first day in Pittsburgh. I just got into my hotel. I am actually just sitting down to do some client check-ins now that I got working Wi-Fi and I can set everything up. It's about 4 p.m. at this point, and today and tomorrow I'm going to be fasting, which has made traveling super easy for me. I just had to pack frozen protein basically, and I'm going to order the rest of my food now that I'm here. But even that, I don't have to necessarily worry until after athlete check-ins. We want to make sure that we make weight, which shouldn't be a problem, but the fasting is really just a strategy for depleting, and it also just grounds me as this competition gets closer and closer. I just want to make sure that from a physiological standpoint, we're dropping inflammation, digestion, liver function is good, but then beyond that, just for spiritual purposes as well, like I think it will really help to anchor me going into this weekend. So just wanted to give you a little bit of update of what the Pittsburgh Pro looks like. I know I haven't been as active as I should be on YouTube, but honestly, this has been a busy prep. I just haven't had a lot of time. And I know that's a weak excuse, but man, like I'm like go all the time between being a dad, leading our house church, trying to be a present husband, trying to run a business, trying to make sure I get in the best shape of my life so I can compete with some of the best athletes in the world here at Pittsburgh. I mean, it gets to be a lot. And I still have to have my basic human rhythms. And so that includes my spiritual health and well-being. So it's like to do all of that without compromise. It's incredibly hard to do that and make consistent content for Instagram, YouTube, all of it. So I hope you understand, but I'm going to do my best to film for you guys my Pittsburgh Pro experience so that you guys can be right here with me as I'm going through this. This is my second biggest show that I've ever done. Outside of the Olympia, this is the biggest show I've ever done. And it's been 5 years since I've gotten on stage. And so I'm just excited, man. Now that I'm here, now that the flight's done with, I'm in my hotel room. I got everything that I need. It's just going to be all smooth sailing from here. So I'm going to get to some of these check-ins, and then I'm going to check out the fitness center in a little bit here because I got to get some movement in for the day. But today is a rest day. There's not going to be any lifting, especially because I'm not eating any food. There's no point. But I'm just going to get some steps in and check out the facility. So I'll share that with you in a little bit. So here we are in the fitness center. It's not much of a fitness center. It's more of like a fitness corner. But we got treadmills, ellipticals, dumbbells up to 30 pounds. We got a leg press, chest press, and looks like a leg curl. So nothing too crazy, but enough to get some movement in, enough to get some carbs circulating when it's time to start loading up. So again, nothing fancy, but it'll do. We're about a block away from the host hotel. So I ended up booking my hotel a little late, and so I wasn't able to get one of the rooms at the host hotel. So we're at one of the neighbor hotels. So it's what I get for procrastinating. But yeah, so today I'm just gonna be getting a good 200 calories worth of steps in. I just finished up some posing, which I'll share with you guys going through my posing routine when I get back. I'll be practicing again. And then tonight, because I'm fasting, no food, it's just gonna be water. I'm shooting for 2 gallons of water. I did 2 gallons yesterday, 2 gallons today, and then tomorrow we'll be pulling it down to 1.5. And then on Saturday, the day before the show, it's gonna be very low water. So it's just part of the water manipulation strategy. I wanna make sure I'm not super watery on stage. So I wanna get a lot of this water out. And part of that strategy is making sure that I'm really hydrated before I push to restrict and remove a lot of the water, so that when I go up on stage, I still have enough water to support fullness, but not so much that I'm literally dripping, because that's something that I've dealt with in the past. I can get really watery, and so This time around, I'm just trying to do my best to make sure that I'm not overly hydrated. I've been super dehydrated before. I've also really been watery up on stage because I kept water in too long. So just trying to find that balance. This time around, I'm keeping salt pretty consistent. In the past, I've had coaches recommend that I remove salt or almost completely eliminate salt, and that's never really gone very well. I end up having a lot of involuntary cramping, which makes it harder for me to perform, to pose. And I also think it's harder to fill. It's harder to get these carbs where they need to be because I don't have a lot of salt. Vasodilation requires salt, and so there's a lot of things that is driven by having a sufficient amount of electrolytes. So trying not to manipulate electrolytes this time around, really just trying to push water by front loading it and then just pulling it out the last like 24 to 36 hours before the show, and then really only using water as needed, and then it's gonna be showtime. So just kind of a little walkthrough of how I'm navigating this peak this time around. I'm gonna be filling up on carbs about midday tomorrow, so this fast will continue into tomorrow. So it'll be a 40-hour fast, and then we start pushing carbs on the back end of Friday, and then we'll continue to fill through Saturday. It's a really great opportunity to figure out how the body's gonna respond. Do we need to add more food? Do we need to pull back on water? All the different manipulation. Typically you have athlete check-ins on Friday, shows on Saturday. But for the Pittsburgh Pro, athlete check-ins Friday, Saturday, we got no competition for classic physique. So we got an extra day to fill. So guys are gonna be up on stage fuller than usual. So I'm gonna do my best to bring a look that's not super full. I don't wanna spill. I'd rather be a little bit on the flatter side, but definitely don't wanna be flat up there either. So just working to find that perfect peak look. So you might be wondering, what do you do in your downtime when you're getting ready for a show? Like what do you do? So a lot of it is just managing fatigue. So there's not a lot of activity. Like I'm really just trying to keep my parasympathetic nervous system as my primary mode of operation right now. So I don't want to be stressed. I don't want an elevated heart rate. So outside of doing some basic movement and posing, I just want to relax. So I brought some books. I have the Book of Enoch, I have the Bible, and I have Becoming More Like Jesus by Matt Chandler. It's his new book. So very faith-orientated books, clearly, but like reading's one of the best things to just keep your mind occupied and again in a parasympathetic state. It's going to help keep inflammation down. It's going to help my digestion. All of this is around fatigue management and then just staying in the right headspace so that I'm not overthinking. I'm really well spiritually grounded and I can be focused on what needs to be done peak-wise without overloading myself with tasks. Beyond that, it's just been a lot of social media. It's been a lot of filming. It's been a lot of replying to clients because I haven't stopped work. Like I'm still doing my check-ins. So I have check-ins tonight. Tomorrow morning I'll have some more check-ins. And then I'll switch to my other line of work, bodybuilding. So athlete check-ins and everything that comes with that. So I still have a full schedule. It's not as fast paced as this whole prep has been. As peak week should be. Shouldn't be this giant chaotic mess. That's what my peak schedule and agenda looks like right now. Posing, walking, a little bit of lifting once we add in some carbs and fats and start filling. And then the rest is just chilling. And that looks different for everybody. But for me, it's reading, it's listening to a podcast or a sermon, hanging out in the room. My mom's gonna be here tomorrow, so she's gonna be hanging out with me. So just hanging out with people that you love. These are all really great parasympathetic activities. And then napping, sleeping. I took a nap on the plane right here, and then I'm gonna be making sure I'm sleeping like a baby these next couple nights. Because again, going back to fatigue management, one of the best things you can do is get awesome sleep. So that's the game plan right now. All right, so now we are back from the 30 minutes of cardio, did incline treadmill, hitting a 300 calorie expenditure target. And now that I'm back, I'm gonna practice a little bit of my mandatory poses now that we got some blood flow going. And that's going to do it for day one of the Pittsburgh Pro. I'm going to get ready for bed, take a shower. Stay tuned for day two, where we go through what my morning looks like, athlete check-ins, weigh-ins, make sure that we're all registered and solidified for the Pittsburgh Pro. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow. Tomorrow I get to eat and I get to see the venue. And from there, we're just one step closer to getting back up on stage. But this time at the Pittsburgh Pro, one of the biggest shows in the US. And so thanks for tagging along for this ride. I'm excited. So peace, love, and protein. I'll see you next time.